Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you joining me for the first time, my name is Tina, also known as Too Tall Tina, and today we are back with another speed build, though today's speed build is extra special. Let me tell you why. So obviously, if you've watched any of my videos before, you know that I have a friend that I've met through Twitter and YouTube and such. Her name is ARIA FAE. She is amazing. I watched one of her videos and immediately became obsessed with her, and then stalked her on Twitter and then DM'd her, and then we became friends. I promise, it's not as weird as I make it sound. It was more like I sent her a quick message and I was like, hey, I don't mean to be shouting you out all the time. I just really liked your videos and I think you're super awesome. Sorry, I'm a weirdo. And turns out she's a weirdo too! So now we're friends, even though we live on completely opposite sides of the world. I think about it during my day. I'm like, oh, it's, 3:30 p.m. right now, which means it's 5:30 a.m. where she lives. And it's just become this really weird friendship that we have. But I really wanted to work with her on a project, and we decided that we would do a collaboration. And this just isn't any collaboration. This is the Feuding neighbors townhouses. So as you saw, the shell had already been built at the beginning. It was something that we discussed together, and I didn't record the process because we were just constantly messaging one another to try to get the feel of the building correct, and I didn't want to have to constantly be pausing and stuff. So the shell was already done when we jump into this video here, and I'm just getting started on all of the landscaping outside. So what we have decided to do is I am decorating one side of the townhouse for a particular type of sim, and she will be decorating the other side of the townhouse in a completely different style, and we're going to be uploading our videos at the same time with links to both of them so that you can see, what I do versus what she does, because as awesome as I think she is, we have very different decorating styles. Obviously we can both do Suburbans, but, that's something that I enjoy more, doing Suburbans and cute little houses with just enough clutter to look lived in, and she can do these amazingly, cluttered, destroyed builds. She does such amazing things between debug and all of the decor items, where she can just completely destroy something. So we decided to take our strengths and separate them and make them into one build. So on my side of the fence, we have a very meticulous older gentleman. I literally made a sim. His name is Gus Grumpy. He's adorable. He's an adorable old man. But as you can kind of tell from the landscaping and such, he's, everything is very straight lines, very clean. That's just how Gus Grumpy is. And then she will be decorating the other side of the fence in these messy frat boy craziness, busted walls. It's gonna be absolutely insane. I cannot wait to see her side of the video. It's gonna be amazing. She's seen mine because, obviously I made the shell and I decorated first, and then I uploaded it so that she could grab it. So she's already seen my half, and I have not seen her half yet. So if you want to know what order you should watch these videos in, you should probably watch mine first and then watch hers. But, do your thing. Obviously, do whatever you want to do. Anyways, so I am working on the interior, trying to get the kitchen figured out, and I really like the way that I separated the entry hall, where I had the spandrels that went across the top where you walk through the door, and I decided that I wanted to use that in the kitchen as well, because in my head, Mr. Grumpy is a woodworker by trade. He's a, I don't know, grumpy old man who likes to work with wood in his garage. So I imagine that he had done a few upgrades in his home that would have involved woodworking. So like he's put in these columns and these spandrels and just made a few extra touches to his house through like his woodworking skills. Does that make sense? I'm running out of words of saying woodworking skills, but is. Anyways, so then I start trying to get down some of the larger furniture, you know, picking out the dining room table, which, you know, you guys know, you've seen me do this a million times and it takes me forever. Like I cannot for the life of me pick out large furniture, because once you pick it, like that determines the entire mood of the house. If I had picked a slightly different couch, Gus Grumpy would not be a fan of the color blue. You have no idea the amount of pressure it takes to pick out a couch for somebody whose name is Gus Grumpy. Anyways, so I am continuing to pick out all of the furniture and such for the living room, and I pick out some armchairs, and I thought about doing a bookcase down here, but I instead just go with a couple armchairs that I place up against that wall, and then I'm picking out some curtains. And I don't know, I love everything from cats and dogs. Like, I'm not as obsessed with cats and dogs as I am obsessed with Seasons, because Seasons just comes with like all the best colors. Like, it has my favorite shades of green between that and Spa Day, and then it also has like my favorite shade of purple. But if you really want to know how I feel about the color purple, you should totally watch the video I did just a few days ago where I renovated the apartment for Penny Pizzazz. It is a perfectly purple pad for Penny Pizzazz. I really enjoy saying the title of that one, because I was very proud. I like pat myself on the back for that one. Anyways, so I'm just getting everything situated downstairs. I struggle with rugs, but you know that I struggle with rugs. I don't get it. And originally I did have like that closet in the entryway, and then decided to switch it out for a entry table so that I could do like a little mirror above it. And I don't know, I think that it worked out just a tad bit better. And putting down like the coat rack and the umbrella rack and all of those cute little things. And I am decorating up the laundry room. So he does have like a laundry room at the entryway. I kind of pictured it more of like a mud room. I did try to put the shoe rack inside of there, but I was afraid you wouldn't be able to actually play and use the laundry, because I have a really bad habit of cluttering things up just a little bit too much. Like, in my head, I'm like, you can totally put things in front of my laundry. That doesn't matter, but in The Sims, you need enough space to be able to do all of the interactions that you are trying to do, you know? And then the little tiny room next to the laundry becomes a little half bath so that you don't have to walk all the way upstairs in order to use the bathroom. And I think in The Sims, this is still considered, like, when you upload to the gallery, do you count half baths when you're putting in like how many bedrooms and how many bathrooms things have? Because in my head, I don't count this as a bathroom. I'm like, oh, there's one full bathroom in this build, but there is also a half bath. So do you count it? I don't know. But anyways, Sims take far too long to walk up the stairs, so I always try to make sure that if the main bathroom is upstairs, then there is at least a half bathroom downstairs as well. Once again, here I go again, talking about bathrooms so much in my voiceovers. It's an obsession, maybe? Am I obsessed with bathrooms? And I'm gonna talk about it some more because listen, look, here we go. I am now on the upstairs bathroom, and I mentioned it in my last voiceover for the perfectly purple pad for Penny Pizzazz that the last bathroom I had built had been like my favorite bathroom. This is it. This is that favorite bathroom. It's so simple. Like, it's literally just, you know, it's a 4-piece bathroom, but the way that I did these cabinets around the sink and the mirrors and the lights, I don't know why I am so obsessed with this bathroom, but I am. I am legitimately obsessed with this bathroom. And it's the dumbest thing. You guys can make fun of me all you want, but I guess I just really, really like decorating bathrooms. And it's so funny. After I had uploaded my last video, I was talking to ARIA, obviously, because I talk to her all the time. And we were discussing like the upload for this and everything, and she was like, oh, I watched your last video. I feel exactly the opposite about bathrooms. Like, she doesn't even record herself decorating them, and I'm like, that's my favorite. I don't know. Like, kitchens and bathrooms all day, because those are essential to the house. Like everything else, you can kind of, you know, wing it, but you need kitchens and bathrooms. But anyways, so I had started decorating this front room to be an office, but then I took a break for the night and I came back to it, and I decided that there was too much space downstairs, like to the side of like the living room. And I felt like it would be just a little bit easier for both me and ARIA to decorate if I shrank everything down just a little bit. So you'll see right about now, everything gets to be a slightly different size, but then it makes this room a really weird shape. And I think that I made it work by making like that little, I don't know, alcove area and putting the shelving unit in there. But it's still like, could you imagine trying to use this as an actual bedroom? It would be ridiculous. It's such a weird shape. I don't even know what I was doing. I should have done a better job, and I apologize. So hardcore. That's another thing I'm looking forward to see ARIA's, because I told her not to worry so much about the layout of the upstairs. I was like, you do you. Don't even worry about what I've got upstairs. If you can figure out a better floor plan, please do, because I was stupid and this was super dumb. Anyways, so we are now onto my favorite room in the... listen, this is another stupid thing. Like, who even actually cares about bathrooms? This is another room where it's like, why would you even care? I love this garage. We don't even have cars in The Sims, and I love this garage. I use that, like, the Bubblicious... That's the name of the wallpaper, is Bubblicious wallpaper, because I was trying to recreate like a pegboard, because I imagine that this is where Gus Grumpy does all of his woodworking. So it's got like the pegboard in the back, and I separated it off with some columns and some shelves. And to me, I was like, dang, Tutaltina, this looks amazing! And I showed my husband and I was like, hey, does this look like pegboard? He's like, no, not at all. What are you even doing? And I'm like, you can't bring me down, this looks so awesome. But so I do like some different lighting techniques in here. So I used the one lamp from Base Game. It's kind of like an industrial looking lamp, and I felt like the light would hit the desk perfectly for woodworking and such. I don't know. You guys know me, I'm super weird, and I was like, I'm so proud of this is the coolest thing ever! Anyway, so we are now at that point where I have all of the major furniture items down, and I start going through the decor. Like, I never have a plan for decor. This is my process for things, is I lay down all the big furniture and figure out my layout and stuff, and then I open up the decorations part of Build and Buy, and I just put it on all. Like, I don't even go through each section individually. I just put it on all, and I just start scrolling, and every time I see something that I feel will fit perfectly into a particular build, I just start like throwing it down. So I know this is probably not the greatest thing ever for watching speed builds, because I jump around from room to room to room. But like, that's how my brain works. I'm like, if I were buying a house, what would be the steps and processes I would go through when I am decorating my house? I'm like, oh, well, you know, you've already got your flooring down, your walls are probably already painted, and then you would move in the furniture that you have, and the last thing that you do is you put up decorations. See? That makes sense. That makes total sense to me. Anyway, so while going through all of the decor items, I found those like pre-carved items, and then like the random scraps of wood and stuff. So I start cluttering up his little workbench. Once again, I am super proud of this area. I was like, this looks awesome. My husband doesn't know anything. You guys, you need to tell him how wrong he is, because this looks cool as hell. I'm just telling you. And then I found a bird bath and I was like, oh, bird bath in the front yard. I never use that. And I felt like this was the perfect opportunity to use it, because Gus Grumpy is still a very kind man. He's a grumpy old man, and he doesn't like his neighbors. But he likes birds, you know? He's got a duck in his living room, and I eventually find those from cats and dogs. They just look like feathers in Build and Buy, but when you pull them out, they're like plaques with pictures of the bird and then the feather on display, which is super cute. I love them. So I was like, this is absolutely Mr. Grumpy's style. We're gonna put these everywhere. And I did. I made like a whole display of them. I love it. But anyways, I am continuing to sort out all of the clutter and such, and working on the clutter in the kitchen. And I do give him dog treats, dog food, and dog bowls, and then the leashes right out the back door, or right by the back door, because I imagine that Gus Grumpy does have a dog, and like in my head, I picture him with, there's that one breed of hound that, it has like a female name, like it's like a Brittany hound. That's probably wrong. You can absolutely correct me, but he's, you know, really pretty dark brown around the head, the snout, and then the ears, and then like the body is like the dapple, like creamy white and brown. Does that make do you guys know what dog I'm talking about? I want to say it's called a Brittany, but that's the type of hound that I would imagine Gus Grumpy would have. That's in my head. He has a Brittany hound. Or whatever the hound is called. I don't know. You know me. Just making things up as I go along. Anyways, and I sort out some of the clutter in the bathroom, making sure that he's got, you know, body wash, soap, all that business, and his, you know, toothbrush, I guess. You know, I love those touches of realism in The Sims, where you can like give them a toothbrush next to their sink and stuff, but it's like so fascinating to talk about in a voiceover, right? I'm like, and here you see I have placed down a toothbrush and some toothpaste on the sink. Anyways, and then I am cluttering up in his bedroom. Just give him not too many things, you know, some books and a couple of figurines. I also put down that owl statue from Cats and Dogs, which I really wish came in other colors. Like, obviously, we have a million options of everything and so much to choose from, but then there's still some things where I'm like, I wish I had more options so I could take even longer to decide on things, right? Anyways, so I am now working on, I don't even know what I'm working on. Oh, I'm like making sure that I didn't forget anything, and of course I forgot like a million things. Like for the longest time there was just nothing on this landing, just like a pile of books. And eventually I was like, oh, I should probably put more things than just a pile of books on that landing. And so eventually, you know, I put down that rug, and then I put down like a big comfy chair so that he can sit out there and read. And while I was playtesting, he absolutely did like go grab books out of the office and then sit in that chair to read, and then had the audacity to tell me that he did not like the decor. So thanks a lot, Mr. Grumpy. Jeez. And I'm adding more clutter into the garage. The only thing that I feel like it's missing is there's the one item from Eco Lifestyle. Obviously I don't have that pack yet, so I couldn't add it, but it's like the electrical box, where normally like that's where you flip the fuses and such, and I feel like that should just be an item. Like I thought it came with City Living because, you know, you can get some of the apartments where the electrical boxes are all showing, but it's not there. It's not in debug, and I looked everywhere for it, and finally I had to text ARIA and be like, where do you find that item from? And she let me know. So, and then I also add in, you know, like all the gardening stuff and some boxes of clutter in the pantry units. You know, I made it look like a garage. I enjoyed it. And I'm just making sure that everything is situated, and there we go. There's all of the decor items that come from like the little bird feathers, which I think are super, super cute. They're just, I don't know. Like, I don't even like birds. I'm not a fan of birds. Please don't hate me if you think birds are really cool. I am very, very afraid of birds. I was attacked by a parrot once. That's a very funny story. I had a friend in like 5th grade, and her mom had one, and she and her mom went to Blockbuster, because I'm an old lady, to go pick up some movies for the night. And I'd like had to go into a different room, and the bird like jumped out of its cage and like landed on me and then like chased me around the house. So I am not a fan of birds, but the decor items are super cute. And I'm just making sure that everything is where it needs to be in the kitchen and such. And I realized that I still had not done anything quite yet with that little area in between the back door and the garage door. So I added the little like hutch thing from Seasons, and I gave him a fish bowl. So, you know, now Gus Grumpy also has a fish, which is such a weird pet to have. I don't know. I mean, I've had goldfish and such, but it's like you can't pet them. You just have to remember to feed them. They're cool to look at, I guess. I don't know. My best friend has like a ton of like tropical fish and stuff, but there we go. I put down the what is it? Armchair. I put down the armchair up on that landing that Gus Grumpy hates apparently. And I'm just making sure that I've got everything in place, so I spend a lot more time looking at things from like higher up above. And then at this point, I finally go in and I make Gus Grumpy, and I start working on things that required just a little bit more, like it required the tool mod and stuff. So I start pulling out all of the debug items that I use to clutter up the garage. So you'll see like the bags of flour and all of like the random tools, because there's like a saw and a hammer and a chisel and a different hammer and a push broom and like piles of wood and stuff. And I just start throwing like all of it, just throwing it all into this garage because I think that it totally works. And then I remembered that, oh yeah, there's a backyard. I still have to do a backyard. This is a really long voiceover. I've already had to like take like 3 breaks because my throat is like for those of you who also do voiceovers and stuff, or the people that I know who stream on Twitch, that you will know, you understand what it's like to have to continue talking for such a long period of time. So I already had the fence in the backyard that like separated the 2 sides. And I decided that I didn't want to bring the fence all the way around. So instead, I use these very large hedges from Debug to kind of separate things, and I go and put in the terrain paint and such. And just like one little flower pot sort of next to the patio, as well as the Debug hose. Or actually, that's in wall decorations. I don't know. You guys know better than me sometimes, so I think I'm like still going through debug and stuff. I tell you all the time, I can't completely see when I'm doing voiceovers. So like I know what room I'm in, but I don't know what I'm doing in that room. So I'm like making my best educated guess as to what I was doing. Oh, the debug. Okay, so the debug placemats that go in the dining room. I was on Twitter and I was, you know, no big deal, talking to Twisted Mexi. Shh. That was a little kind of teeny tiny name drop. Like, I'm not like friends with him. He like asked a question and I happened to answer it and then had like a 2-second conversation. But so I was like, oh yeah, when you place down those placemats, they always revert back to one color. And he said that you can use the tool mod to like toggle the color of them. And I tried for like 20 minutes straight and I could not figure it out. And I didn't want to be like a super weirdo and start like tweeting him again or like DM him or something to like figure out how to do it. So I was like, oh well, I guess I just don't know, and that's my life, it's fine. And I also realized that I had not fully decorated upstairs in the bedroom. Not my favorite room in this house, was this bedroom. I was like, and I feel like Gus probably doesn't spend a lot of time in there. He's probably one of those old guys who like falls asleep in his armchair in front of the TV. Like that's what I pictured for him. So he's like, oh, the bedroom doesn't need to look good because I'm just gonna sleep on the couch anyway. And I clutter up his desk in there. I also didn't give him like a career. I don't know. I pictured him being like, I can't even imagine, like not like a professor, maybe, but something that wouldn't require doing a lot of work from home. Like maybe he was a lawyer at some point in time and that's why he's so meticulous and grumpy now, because he was a lawyer. But then I feel like he would live someplace nicer. I don't know. You guys come up with a backstory for him. Like, how did Gus Grumpy get so grumpy? And I am just making sure that everything is in place and decorated to the fullest of my abilities. This took a while. I worked on this over a couple of days. And it was like right when classes were starting, so I was like constantly getting emails and stuff about school. So it was just sort of like crazy. Oh, my brain is a mess. So I'm decorating out the back patio and I just give him like a little grill and a table with an extra chair in case he has company. I don't know, I also pictured Gus Grumpy was at one point in time like a ladies' man. Like maybe that's why he hates his neighbors so much, because when he invites the ladies over to his bachelor pad, it's not as impressive when you look at the house next door being such a mess. I don't know. And somewhere along the way, I decided that Gus Grumpy also wanted a fountain. Like, he works in his yard a lot. Like, he's just that old man, where he probably gets up at like 5 a.m. on Sunday morning and mows his lawn. He's that guy. So anyways, I just want to say that I hope you all have a wonderful day, like the best day ever, 1 out of a billion. The score is obviously a billion because it's the best day ever. And if you are not having the best day, if there's anything going wrong in your day, if there's anything I can do to make your day just a little bit better, hit me up on Twitter, man. I'm like, I will do something. I'll send you pictures of my cat, or pictures of even better, pictures of my dog. My dog is very cute. I'll send you videos of my cat being stupid, and I just want you to have a good day, like the best day. And don't forget to look out. I will put the link down below to ARIA FAE's video where she's going to decorate the other side of this townhouse. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be cluttered. It's gonna be destroyed, and I cannot wait. I'm super excited. It's gonna be amazing. So if you have liked this video, don't forget to give me a big ol' thumbs up to let me know that you liked it. And if you would like to see more from me, don't forget that you can always subscribe. I do try to put out content fairly consistently, and not all of it is 30 minutes long. I'm sorry this video is so long. It was a giant house. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so you just have like the best day. Watch Aria's video after this one so you can see what she does to the other side of it, and I will talk to all of you later. Bye!